Do you know how many dictators are currently present in the world? I know what you were thinking. North Korea, right? Well, then let me tell you the actual number. There are currently 50 dictators present all over the world. Shocking, right? Today's video is all about dictator and their dictatorship. Now, what do you think a dictator is? I can guess what you were thinking. Maybe a person with a big mustache, wearing a military uniform and lot of medals, right? But no, that is not at all what a dictator is. A dictator is actually a political leader who exercises absolute unrestricted control over a state. Remember Adolf Hitler or Joseph Stalin? Do you think they were born as dictators? No, right? One can never be born as a dictator, but gradually they become one. Now the question is, how can someone become a dictator? Mark Van Vugt suggests that there are three major steps to becoming a dictator. The first step is expand your power base with nepotism and corruption. The powerful should always find the ways of abusing their powers. Beware, corruption only works for the short term. You will eventually be caught. The second step is initiate a monopoly on the use of power to hold back public protest. Because dictators cannot survive long without disarming the people of the state and bootlicking the military. As you know, people would protest against the wrong deeds of the government. Only if there is a right to protest, so just curb their rights. It's as simple as that. The third step is accumulating power by manipulating the hearts and minds of your citizens. The main step is to turn down the free flow of information, to stop any kind of criticism. Use the media platforms only to justify your propagandas. Because when the citizens would not hear any kind of criticisms, most of them will automatically start believing the justifications of your propagandas. Isn't it? So now you can guess the three key points to become a dictator. Corruption, curb public rights to protest, manipulate the citizens along with the media. Now as you know the key components of a dictator, what would you prefer? A dictatorship or a democracy? Think about it. In the meantime, in light of the question, let me share some data with you. Here it has been shown the 2018 global data on the increasing dissatisfaction with democracy of the people from various parts of the world. In Canada, 39% of the people are dissatisfied with democracy. In US, it is 58%. In Italy, it is 70%. In Spain, it is 81%. In Greece, it is 84%. In Tunisia, 70%. And in Brazil, 83%. In Mexico, about 85% of the population is dissatisfied with democracy. Do you know there is a website named debate.org? In this website, there is an article named "Is a strong dictatorship better than a weak democracy?" You can visit the website. The link is given in the description box below. There you will see people have voted on whether they agree or disagree with the question. Guess what? 65% of them voted yes, that they agree. They have mentioned various reasons too. Some of them are: democracy doesn't lead to better economic growth rates. For instance, the economic growth rate which USA, a democratic nation, achieved in 200 years was achieved by China, a non-democratic country, in just 60 years. Dictatorships make it so much easier to get things done because, as for them, apparently democracies waste much time and money during elections, which will not happen in dictatorships. A strong dictatorship and a lesser democracies. Because according to them, a strong dictatorship can let the nation grow rapidly. So now what do you think? Is a dictatorship good or is it bad? Confusing, right? Well, like any other things, dictatorship too have their own pros and cons. First, let's talk about some good sides of a dictatorship. Crime levels decrease quickly when a dictatorship arises in a society. The harsh punishments which are handed out when a criminal act occurs is a massive barricade against activities which are harmful to society. For example, in the Philippines, the total number of focused crimes dropped by 50% after the rise of an authoritarian regime. Dictatorships can also be a way to promote innovations. Think about Germany in World War II. The Nazis of Germany were the first to produce a jet-powered plane to enter combat. Also, the Horten HO-229, the first operational flying wing aircraft, was produced under the direction of a dictatorship in Germany. Dictators can help to promote stability in the government. when there is no longer a need to elect a new person. The long-term changes in society become possible. For instance, India, it is a democracy as we all know. But whenever a new government comes, it may change certain laws made by the previous government. For example, the BJP government is doing now in India, passing new education policy, new agriculture policy, basically trying to change the legislative framework of previously made by the Congress government. But in dictatorship, a single person being in charge for more than 15 or 25 years, this is not a problem. But the funny thing is, all the pros of dictatorship I have discussed now have their own angle of disadvantage. Like for instance, the first point which says that crime levels decrease in a dictatorship. But dictatorship are most of the time accompanied by corruption, which itself is a crime. The media being manipulated, the crimes conducted by the government are not talked about. Only the information on traditional crimes such as robbery, theft, all of these are shared with the common people. There are a number of other cons as well of dictatorship, such as there is often reduced production in a dictatorship because the dictator forces the citizens to do work using fear, and fear is obviously not the best motivation. People do the work out of compliance but cannot focus on their work. This has a negative effect on manufacturing and agriculture. For example, during the dictatorship of Mussolini, the production capacity of Italy was estimated very low. Opposition is not allowed to exist in a dictatorship. For instance, the recent happenings in India, which is the largest democracy of the world. The government passed the new agriculture bill, which has been facing criticisms from the opposition political parties of India, right? But what happens in a dictatorship? There are no oppositions, because here only a single person make rules and no one can oppose it. The citizens' personal rights are greatly restricted. In a democracy, people can do what they want, can wear what they want, can think what they want, right? But in a dictatorship, the government decides every small detail of a person's life. The people do not have a choice, or at least much choice. They need to follow the government's decision or else they will be punished. The point actually explains the previous point on why there cannot be an opposition in a dictatorship. The main fact is the harsh punishments. For example, North Korea. The UN says that North Koreans live under systematic, widespread and gross human rights violation, and it is the worst in the world. No, the list of pros and cons does not end here. There are many others, but I'll give you the scope to track the rest of the points, because what harm can a little research do, right? Also, it is one search away in Google. But before ending this video, let me ask you one last question. Do you think monarchy and the dictatorship are actually similar? Many of us do get confused between these two terms, don't we? So let me tell you the simple difference between these two terms to help you with your confusion. A dictatorship, as we already discussed, is a government ruled by one person, known as the dictator, or an authoritarian party. For example, Saddam Hussein was the dictator of Iraq till the US force killed him. Whereas monarchy is actually the rule of the king, queen, or an emperor. For instance, Queen Elizabeth II, the Queen of Britain. Dictatorship is an office that has been gotten through force. The rule of the dictator can happen through military takeovers, through rebellions, or if an elected person refuses to step down from his office. Monarchy is actually a family affair. The crown is passed down from one generation to the next. Now, if anyone asks you if dictatorship and monarchy are the same, just remember this simple difference. So this was all for today's video. Remember the question I asked previously in this video. What do you prefer, democracy or dictatorship, and why? Do share your opinions on the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching the video. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video. Jai Hind.